In this video, we will solve systems of equations in three variables. It's from the module 9.8. Here we can solve all these easily in the calculator. If it was manual method, it's just too lengthy. It's simple method, but it just takes a long time. Since it's the electronic part, we'll solve all of them in calculator. Let's take our calculators here. We have to go to more, and we can see these are equations, simultaneous systems of equations, right? 5. Now you can see three variables. There's x, y, and z, three variables, three equations. You can see it's option 2 or 4 because x, y, z is there in, no, it's not x, y, z in the option 4, it's cubic. But option 2 has x, y, and z, so it's only option 2. More, phi, 2. Now here, be careful. There are three columns, that's A, B, C, that's the coefficient of x, y, z. But if you go next, there is one more column for the constants. So we need to type them all. That is 2, 3, minus 1, and then 0. Here we have 1, minus 2, minus 4, 14. And lastly, we have 3, 1, minus 8, 17. So these are the coefficients over here, and then the constants here, and just press equal to, you get 4, minus 3, and minus 1. This is the answers. So one more important thing to remember. First is x. Make sure all the equations x values are taken first, then the y's, and then the z's. What if we did not have anything, no y at all? It was only 3x minus 8z. That means it was 0 here. Don't put 1. If there is nothing, no number, that is 1. But if there is no term at all, it's only 3x minus 8z, then it will be 0. So make sure you use your calculator. You'll directly get the answers. Very easy and simple, and it's the electronic part. I'll run through all these questions because I will go to the real world problems. But you can see the answers here. So these are the answers. These are the methods. You can pause them and watch it one by one. As you can see, these are the solutions. Similarly, you can solve these. There are plenty. Over here, this is the solutions. And this one over here, as say now, this has infinite number of solutions. If you put in your calculator also, you'll get it. Otherwise, you can see two of the equations will be same. This one has values, I believe. Yes, this is the solution. Try them by yourself and then check the answers. So I'll quickly move on. This is the answer for fifth one. The answers for sixth is over here. It is again infinite solution. And here we have another solution. It's 5 minus 5 and minus 20. Over here the solution is 0, 2, 1. I'll just solve this one quickly here because the last equation, you can see it is 0, 0, and p. Let us click on more phi 2. Let's type in the coefficients. It's 2, phi 2, and then the constant is 6. And here we have phi minus 7, but there is no p value at all. So it's 0 here, minus 29. Then what do we have here? 0, 0, 1 for p. And then over here also it's 1. So the values are minus 3, 2, and 1. So that's the answers. Similarly, just make sure you have the variables aligned f, g, h, first, second, third. And here it's no solution because it's a false equation. And here as well, you can see it will be 0, 0, minus 2. And all the other equations, they have all the variables. So that'll be the answer here as well. You can see this is the answer. So now we are in the real world problems. It's about animal nutrition. A vegetarian wants, it's a veterinarian wants to make a food mix for guinea pigs that contain 23 grams of protein, to 6.2 grams of fat, and 16 grams of moisture. Now look here, they're told about protein. This entire bar is protein. So what they have told total will be 23 here. This is 6.2 and 16 here. The composition of three available mixtures are over here. We need to solve them up. Now they are told this is mix A. So Everything over here is A. This is B, B, B. And lastly, we have C, C, C. That sum must be equal to 23 here and here. So now let's write the simultaneous equations. Don't write it 0.2 plus 0.0. No. Here A doesn't make sense. It should be 0.2A plus 0.1B. Let me write it out. 0.2A plus 0.1B plus 0.15C. That is equal to 23. This is all the proteins. And here we have 0.02A plus 0.06B plus 0.05C. That is equal to 6.2. And lastly, we have 0.15A plus 0.10B and 0.05C. That is equal to 16. Just put this in the calculator, you will get the answers. So we'll see the simultaneous equations. Here we go. These are the equations. They are vertically written. 0.2, 0.1, 0.15 equals 23 and so on. Then we know just putting in the calculator, you will get the answers. So the final answer over here would be, as you can see here, 60 grams of mix A, 50 grams of mix B, and 40 grams of mix C. So whatever the solutions you get from that. Another problem, at arcade, Marcos, Sarah, and Darius played video racing games, pinball, and air hockey. Marcos spent $6 for 6 racing games. So here they have told racing games. I'll just take it as, you can take it as XYZ, ABC, or because it's racing games, I'll take it as R, P, hockey, H, because I can easily differentiate it. Marco spent $6 for 6 racing games, 2 pinball games, and 1 game of air hockey. Okay, so $6 on these things. So if I take 6R, that's racing games he played, plus 2 times pinball, plus and 1 hockey, that is equal to 6. What about the next person? The total sum is 12, whereas 3 racing games plus 4 pinballs plus 5 hockey. And Darius, 2 racing games plus 7 pinballs plus 4 hockey, that is equal to 12.25. So these are the simultaneous equations. These are the equations. You just put them in the calculator, you'll get the answer. That's it. So once you get the equation, it's all simple. So here we go. You can see that's how we solve it. And the final solutions would be the racing game was costing $0.5, whereas the pinball was 0.75 and the hockey game was $1.5. And the last problem here, a natural food store makes its own brand of trail mix from dried apples, raisins, and peanuts. I'll just take it as A, R, and P. 1 pound of bag of trail mix cost $3.18. Okay, one bag of, the total is 3.18. Now here, there's a method to remember. They have told the total bag is 3.18, right? It's related to the cost, money. So what else money is given? Let's just jump over here first, and then I'll go to the other problem. If pound of dried apples cost 4.48 is what? Apples plus 2.4 for raisins plus 3.44 for peanuts. That must be equal to 3.18. Then what else? How many ounces of each ingredient? Okay, but before that, we have missed something. It contains twice as much as peanuts by the weight as apples. Okay, this is very important. It contains twice as much peanuts by weight as apples. Now, if you have apples, say over here apples and peanuts, right? They are in some relation. If you have 1 kg of apples, whatever the weight, 1 unit of apples, then the peanut is twice. It'll be 2 times. So here, don't write A is equal to 2P. This is wrong. Many students tend to do that mistake. So how do we write it then? It's not very simple. You should just write this, apple and peanuts over here. 1 unit of apple is 2 units of peanuts. So I need to write this equal to, right? So I need to get these numbers same. So what should I do over here to get both numbers same. Either I should divide this by 2, that means peanuts by 2, or I multiply 2 by apple. Multiplying is easier. So I'll just multiply this by 2, it'll be 2 and 2. So don't forget over here also, you do 2. So the equation is 2a equals p. This is the equation which we get. And then you can get that in, so it'll be 2a minus 0r plus p is equal to 0. Okay, that is the second equation. But there's one more, we need 3. This is the same equation I've written over here. But what about third one? We know 1 pound requires apples plus raisins plus peanuts, that will be equal to 1, because all these three things are required to make the trail mix. So these are the three simultaneous equations. You can see the first, apple, raisins, peanuts equals 1, and another equation over here it's given 2a equals p. You need to actually write it like this if you're putting in the calculator. So it's 2a equals p is, as you can see here, 2a plus 0p, 0r. And I've written it wrong here, guys. It's minus p, because I'm bringing it inside. It'll be minus p is equal to 0. I'll solve this in the calculator and show you. And lastly, we had the cost, 4.48, and all this, see, as we have written. So let me solve this up. I'll remove this because we need to have all the variables one side, constants another side, to solve it in the calculator. These are the three equations. In order to solve it, mod 5 and 2, let's type in. It's 1, 1, 1, and 1. That was an easy equation. Okay, that is wrong because I have not typed it in. Okay, now here we have 4.48, 2.4, and lastly we have 3.44, and the constant value is 3.18. Another thing is 2, 0, and minus 1, that will be equal to 0. Now what's the answers? It will be 0.1875, 0.4375, and 0.375. So you can see the solutions. We have got in fractions. We can leave it in fractions itself. It is 3 by 16 or decimal. Both are valid answers. For the raisins, we got 7 by 16, absolutely correct. And the peanuts over here is 0.375. As I have shown over there, I've written everything over here. That is the end of this question. I hope it is clear. If you have any doubts, please consider rewatching the video or posting your doubts in the comments. I hope you all will head on to the next video.